Hi, everybody. This is Alex, and we're doing another Ask Alex. We're just testing the system, of course. So if you're watching this directly on YouTube, then what you should do is probably go to hazu.io/AskAlexLindsay/ask-alex-7, or you can actually go to Twitter, and you'll see that link as well. There's no need to display it here, but if you're watching the video and you can't figure out where to ask questions, look at my Twitter account, and I actually in the listing in my G Plus thing, you'll see it as well. In Facebook, you'll see it as well. And so anyway, we're giving people a chance for testing a new system here. If you are watching the video, you will see a questions tab. It used to be kind of all open. We've kind of cleaned it up. Andy's done some magic. And so, and Andy's here actually. Hold on. There he is. There he is.
Hello.
There's nobody watching though, so I don't really know what's going on.
Okay.
So we'll see. So I'm saying all this in case you watch it later, but there's actually 0 viewers. It's maybe a really short trip. You
lost all the followers on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I just picked the wrong time. We've done Ask Alex in a lot of different times, and maybe I picked the wrong time, and there won't be any questions, and there won't be any viewers, and maybe everyone is just had it with these Ask Alexes. Let's see here. I got a notification. Someone. Oh, we have 1 viewer. I don't know if that's you.
That's
you.
Yeah. That doesn't count.
Oh, no, we have 4 viewers. That means now Shannon's watching. Shannon watching, that's 2 viewers, and there are 2 other viewers. So if you've got questions, you're watching this, you have questions. There's like next to me, there's a thing. You'll see a questions tab, and then you ask the questions. And then I try to answer them. It's kind of a test. You'll see Andy has asked if this works, and I'll answer that online and go, Andy. Oh, I don't quite understand what it just did. Oh, and then I see it, then it appears here. Okay. And I hit done. There it is, and it just disappears. So it's only the active one that's visible.
Yes, because the other one will be in the timeline. So it's kind of between.
Yep. Okay. And the reason I'm asking these what may seem like silly questions is we just redid this, and this is part of how I figured this out. So I possibly answer questions. So if you're just joining, you'll see, if you're at Hazu, you will see you will see a questions tab, and you click on it, and you can ask a question. You'll see it right at the very top there, if you want to, but you may not want to. Maybe this is just way too much complexity there. So we'll see if it works for you. Oh, here we go. So now I got one from Mark Thompson, so I'm going to go ahead and answer that. So Mark Thompson's question is, what is the current status of Pixscore.com/join us? So what's really cool is this system is part of that problem. So basically, we are building this system up to support Pixscore membership, and among other things. And so we're working on that right now, and we are hopefully going to be ready to launch sometime this summer, either in the summer or at the latest the first week of August. And we're going to kind of open it back up for a limited membership and so on and so forth. So that's our next little bit there. So stay tuned for that, and we'll go from there. All right, so let's. So now I don't have any more questions, so this is gonna be a really short trip here. This will be a short event.
You might actually catch your flight.
I know I might catch my flight. I was expecting to have more questions, and usually people are a little bit more chatty. Hopefully, Mark, that answered your question there. But we'll see here. So we've got that one. Now, if you're looking at the timeline, you may not see where to ask questions. Make sure you click on questions over to the side there. And sometimes it just takes people a little bit more. We've got 9 viewers now watching me just talk along. You really want to go over to Hazu if you can. If for some reason you're not watching this through Hazu and you're just watching it inside of G+, let me do a real quick screen share so that you can see where to go, and I'll show you what to do as well. So I'm going to share this screen, and you'll see this here. And so what you're going to see here is there's a timeline that shows you what questions I've already asked, and then there's questions. And this is where you can ask a question if you want. You can type one in here and submit it. So, oh, and Tony has asked another question here, so stand by for that. I'll get over to it in just a second. But I just wanted to show everyone what that is. And so let's let me go back to, now I'm in the wrong image here. And I'm going to stop and go back to me. All right, so that's how to do that. Oh, here we go. So I'm going to answer Tony's question here. So Tony Sprague's question is, have you used any HDMI to Ethernet converters on past jobs? I've never used an HDMI to Ethernet converter. I've seen a couple of them now, and I'm interested in testing them. Most of these aren't really, they're not really changing the signal. They're not encoding, decoding on one end or the other. They are actually just putting them on the wires. I don't know if it's any different for some of these. Now, we have used, as far as HDMI to Ethernet, we have used Teradex. That's a very expensive solution. It's $2,500 a pair. And we use those a lot. I don't know, I've got 8 or 10 of them laying around. So we use bonds and the wireless bolts, and we've got at least 6 or 7 of the Teradex cubes. We use Sputnik, and so we've got lots of that when it comes to Ethernet. But if you're talking about just the raw, I want to put a camera, you know, or an HDMI over Ethernet, we haven't really done a lot of testing on those yet. Our next question is again from Mark Thompson, and Mark said, yes, thanks. Can we see what you're wearing on your wrist? I don't have it yet. There it is right there. Look at that. I don't have it. People are all wondering. I still have my, this is what I'm wearing on my wrist right now is a, and I feel bad because it's not going to last much longer, but this is a Citizen Eco Drive. I've had a version of this watch for 15 years. So this is the latest version of the watch that I have. It fulfills a handful of requirements that the Apple Watch will fulfill. It allows me to have a digital time that's set to one time, and hands that are set to another time, and UTC set to another time. Well, UTC is UTC. The hands are set to what my local time is, and the digital is usually whatever the most important one is. And typically, when I'm in the country, the digital one is set to East Coast or West Coast, depending on what coast I'm on, and the hands are set to my local time. My hands are always set to local time. And the digital one is set to whatever time I have to pay attention to. So if I'm in Rwanda, typically it's set to the West Coast. If I'm on the East Coast, it's set to West Coast. If I'm on the West Coast, it's set to East Coast, that kind of thing. So anyway, it's a nice watch. And I feel bad because I won't be using it much longer. Well, I will be using it much longer because the watch that I wanted, black stainless steel, 42 millimeter, is going to ship sometime in July, I think. So I don't have one yet. It's very embarrassing. That's all I got to say. I don't want to talk about it anymore. So I know you wanted to see an Apple Watch and get my feedback, and I don't really have any good feedback on that. So anyway, so that's where that whole issue is. I don't have any other questions. This is going to be a really short Ask Alex, although I do understand how the system works now. A couple things I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at.
It's still active.
Yeah, I thought I hit it there. Next question is from Michael Short. Thoughts about 4K for live production, inevitability or not necessary? I think it is inevitability over the next 2 years. I think it's not necessary right now. We are moving all of our hardware to 4K. We're not going to buy any more hardware that doesn't do 4K. I think that we want to be able to, we have most of our hardware has already been converted, so I could rent a couple cameras and be in a 4K system. We have a lot of Blackmagic switchers that we use that are 4K. So we're going down that path. So I think it's inevitable. I think it's inevitable somewhere down the path, 2, maybe 3 years. I think 1080p is really the place to go. We've been doing 720p for a long time. 1080p is really the place to go with that. But 4K, I think, will be important in the future. We've done some stuff with Oculus that requires 4K because you're panning and tilting inside of it. But that's the only 4K we've done so far. So that's my answer there. Right now we're out of questions again. So if you've got questions that you want me to answer, I'm playing around with this a little bit. So let's see, let me go to iPad questions. Right now, I just see a big version of no questions. So let's see. TV answered item.
It's nothing because nothing's there.
So if I had answered, that'd be full screen.
Yes.
Of that. Okay.
You can leave that open because that opens another tab.
Oh,
so
cool.
you can just go back to your original tab and just leave that. And now if you go back there, yes.
Nice.
Another thing.
Am I doing screen share?
I think that's just a poster.
Oh, that's a poster. Okay.
If you go to timeline and post an item, you will also see that and make that active. So if you
all right, so I'm going to go to timeline and I'm going to say, and item, this is test.
You have to make this active now.
If I add it, and then I add it, and then
you activate it, and then you click on the icon. So
I click on the icon.
So now that should be in...
for the duration of 30 seconds.
Oh, wait. No, that's not what it should be. 1 second.
Okay. This is why we do these things right now, just in case you guys are wondering.
Yes.
We're testing them. I'm afraid you guys are guinea pigs, and I really appreciate it. And what you get out of this is that I answer questions. You know, so if you have any other questions, you can go ahead and ask them. We are... is that something I can adjust when I build the item?
Yes, you can just go and reset it.
And then if I go into edit the item, no?
I just want to see why it should normally place it at the very end and it should make it active after. If you place it again, if you try to place it again here.
So if I
click
place
it,
this.
Yeah. Now this should be the active one, yeah.
That's
if you go to the current view, you see, I mean, this is a test, or if this is a full blown question there, you see.
But what would be great for that is to have it centered.
Okay, like in the middle?
Centered in the middle and have it probably 3 times the size, the text size. That would be awesome.
Yeah, it should be easy.
Okay, now hit done. Questions. Oh, we got another question. Hold on. Let's see here. So, and let me look at this. Hold on. Wow. There we go. Yeah, that'd be great if it was just bigger and centered. Next question is from Tony Sprague on Earth. What Skype TX device did you demo on a recent Mac Break Weekly? We are using the Talk Show, which is TriCaster or Nutex version of the Skype TX. And I'm very happy with it. At first I wasn't because I had the wrong monitor connected to it, something too small, and it was like all over the place and very hard to deal with and very funky. But now that I've got it on a good monitor at the office, I love it. And so it works really well. It looks great, I think. I'm not using it obviously here, but I will be using it on the Ask Alex that I do hopefully next week. So after this, I'm going to be doing Ask Alex from my new system that I have at my office, and so I'll be using it there. So we'll be able to kind of play with that. So anyway, but that is the answer to that question. All right. Any other questions? This is going to be a really short Ask Alex. If no one asks any other questions, you've got about 30 seconds before I decide that this test has been completed. I have a pretty good idea of how this thing works. This is brand new. We updated it this week. Hopefully you like it. Let's see here. All right. All right, we got a couple questions here. Okay, well, Brent, you have to ask a question. Ask the question. All right. This is from, when I hit it, it didn't show me. Michael Short in the United States says, if I needed an LTC generator, what brand would you recommend? I don't really know. I don't know. I haven't used an LTC generator for a long time. Let's see if I can remember the one that I have used. I thought I used one on a Mac where I actually generated from an Apple, but I don't remember. In fact, I'm almost certain I did. No, you know what? It might have been a reader that I had, actually an LTC reader that it was like a little adapter that would let me adapt those. But yeah, so I'm afraid I do not know what LTC generator. I don't think I can give you a good advice on that because I haven't had to buy one of those for quite some time. Sorry, wasn't very good at that one. Next question, I'm going to reply first to Brent just to test the reply and say, Thanks. To the I have a question to ask. And then I'm going to answer your actual question, which is, why do you think Leo abandoned it when FCP is becoming so good? Well, Leo never went to FCP 10. So Leo was always on FCP 7, so it never was beginning to get so good. It was really getting really long in the tooth for him. I think that there was, the idea of upgrading to a bunch of really expensive machines was probably a little bit more than they wanted to spend. I think that a lot of their editors weren't ready to go to Final Cut 10. We really like Final Cut 10. In fact, there's going to be a Final Cut 10 user group Friday because we like it so much. So, so we're gonna, you're gonna see more of that. We're gonna do deep dives into Final Cut 10 soon. So, so stay tuned for that. But I think that's probably why a lot of internal resistance. I think when you're used to something, our guys were a little bit more flexible, and I think that turned out well. But I definitely get some people just aren't ready to make that move. So anyway, I think that was the decision process. And this will probably be the last question that we do. Do you have a go-to website for learning about tech opportunities for working with Rwanda companies or schools? We don't, but that would be a really good idea, and we will take a look at that. We'll talk about it internally. I like the idea of giving people opportunities for that. And we're hoping to provide other opportunities for people to come visit us, and if they want to see the school, because the school is really becoming kind of my favorite playground. I mean, it's just got great tools and great people, and it's in Rwanda's pretty cool. As some of you have seen some of my little tours. So I'm pretty happy with that. So anyway, perfect. And so Andy was showing me something while I was answering it, but I think that, yeah, there's nothing right now available, and we've been talking about building something, so we'll work on that more. Right now, I don't have any other questions, so I think I'm going to probably abandon all of you. No, I didn't really abandon you, but I think we're going to be done for the day. So unless I get a question in the next couple seconds, I'm going to go ahead and jump off. But I've been able to test this system, and I really appreciate it. I hope some of those answers were useful for you. And anyway, so I'm gonna bugger off, and I hope you guys are all having a good Wednesday. And we'll see you probably again soon. We now have a new system, which means there'll probably be a lot of Ask Alex's as I kind of figure that out. See you.